And our coverage continues right now. NewsNation live from New York. I want to bring in Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus immediately here on the breaking news we mentioned right before we took our last break. And it's very nice to have you on live from Tel Aviv, Lieutenant Colonel, to talk about this. And as I said, there are many other questions today, but the focus for the moment seems to be on what may or may not have happened at this hospital in Gaza, with Hamas claiming that there are hundreds of people dead in an explosion caused by an Israeli airstrike. But from the point of view of the IDF, can you say that something different happened? Do you know what happened? What can you tell us? I don't think we...
Sorry.
Oh, there we
you
go.
can hear me now.
Okay, yes, I can. I was wondering if I was the only one, you know how this is, who didn't hear you, or if nobody heard you. This is the way technology goes. Let me have you start again then, Lieutenant Colonel, now that you're off mute, as anybody who's been in the Zoom meeting these last few years knows. Tell us, in all seriousness, what may have happened at this hospital. Do you know?
Yes, so it is understandable, very understandable, that this is at the focus of global attention. What I can say, a few things categorically. We did not intentionally strike any hospital. That I can say categorically. We are investigating as we speak, and we are wanting to be 100% sure of what's happened. And there will be an official statement out in the coming minutes. We're just verifying ourselves to be very sure of what happened. And I want to say that, we're in the news business. We want to have headlines and deliver information. The only thing true about what's happening is probably the fact that there are many Palestinians dead in that hospital. What happened is still unclear, and blaming it on Israel before that is verified, I think, is a wrong thing to do. I am at this stage not able to completely deny it and to say exactly what happened, but I want people to be aware of the fact that Hamas has been firing long-range rockets towards Israel over the last 11 days, and there have been hundreds of incidents of misfire, Hamas rockets that have misfired and landed and exploded inside the Gaza Strip. And we are currently looking into, and we want to establish and verify before we say something official, that this is the case.
Okay,
but
to be clear on that last point, though, there were reports, and you're right, we also want to verify that information is true all of the time before we report it, but there have been reports that the IDF had been saying that this was a failed rocket launch from Hamas. You're saying that is not confirmed yet. You do not know what happened.
I do not have an official statement yet. It is minutes away. And hopefully in a few minutes, I'll be able to say clearly and with confidence, after our senior officers have looked at all of the information available, and with confidence say what happened and did not happen. But that is a few minutes away.
Okay, the obvious risk of all of this, and we've been watching the West Bank with live video coming in there of protesters in the streets in Ramallah, is that when people see these headlines, to your point, and the blame is on Israel from the Hamas side, they're going to say Israel is going after not only civilians, but striking a hospital, and that could spill over. To what extent are you concerned about the impact of this, no matter what happened at the hospital?
Yes, of course, any event in Gaza will be used by our enemies in order to mobilize more people, organizations, and entities against us. So that is clear. That is why it's also so important to be able to refute as soon as possible. The only thing I can say categorically is that this was not an intentional IDF strike. That is beyond doubt. The other details, we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, let me talk to you while we wait and see about a few other issues, if we can, in this war. There has been concern in the southern part of Gaza, I think we talked about this yesterday, but it's been a big concern here for days about getting people out through the Rafah crossing into Egypt, possibly getting aid in. There were reports of Israeli strikes in that area, in the south. And, that's an area where civilians had been told to go. Why is that happening, or is it happening in that area where civilians have been told to evacuate to?
Yeah, that's a fair question, and I would like to disambiguate. So the situation in Gaza is that we are, as we all know, at war against a terrorist organization that is using all of the civilian infrastructure in Gaza for its military purposes. Nothing is beyond Hamas to use, including sensitive facilities. We have also said very clearly, people, Gazans, please move south south of the Gaza River, and that is an area where you will be safer from main combat activities that are going to happen in the area of Gaza City.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.